very different and unique situation we haven't seen in a long time.
Let's dive into the drafting phase for match number 1 of day 3. ONIC Esports on the blue side, Malvinas Gaming on the red side. A fun fact as well for most of y'all back at home, the blue side's been winning a lot more than the red side. I believe.
Marco, don't do this to me.
Don't do that to you. Okay, what's up?
Which one is blue?
Oh, blue is left.
Are you the first pick?
Yeah.
I'm colorblind. Anyways, I want to talk about the bans because this is a very interesting ban coming in from ONIC, where they're banging out the Eve as well as the Faramis. Eve is very strong against certain fighters where you really just want to, in a way, kind of like a Langar kind of style, where you just want to use your movement speed and then just go straight to your opponents, as well as banning out the Faramis. The Faramis is, in my opinion, has gotten way weaker after the change to his ult, but it does show that perhaps they want a team fight where they want to make sure they can charge in, they can dive, and no one will survive that charge.
I think banning the Eve is a smart move. It just allows them to circumvent all the problems.
Now
the
Blue has to be
slows,
banned, right?
the zonings, the immobilize as well. And especially if they want to use CW, denying that real-world manipulation that can just zone the marksman away from those fights. They ban the Kaya for the pickup potential.
1-1, Glue, 2 heroes up for grabs, but they go and opt for the 1-1 for CW, a comfort pick, his main hero. But is it worth letting that Glue go? We've seen how strong the Glue is, and without hesitation, Malvinas picks up the carry as well. A hero that's just been popping off at M4.
It just seems like such a gamble. The 1-1 definitely has a lot of potential, but we haven't seen it too often right here. And if Malvinas go for a dive composition, the 1-1 can definitely be useful. But everyone else on the team, what will they draft out to ensure that CW won't even get destroyed all the way from the early game?
Here's the thing, right? I kind of feel like the laning phase is fine, at least in the gold lane, especially if the mid duo will give a lot of help there. But I don't know, man. Giving up the Glue as well as the carry, where we saw even the game that Glue did lose, is not really because Glue didn't perform well. It's just that mistakes being here and there. And it looks like with the Hayabusa pick as well as the Grok, I think this kind of solidifies that they want to bring the aggression in early. So Malvinas Gaming, they got to make sure that whichever jungler that they're going to pick is not going to be punished early, because Grok as well as Hayabusa, they just need a very strong mid laner, you know, a mage that's strong like level 1, level 2, and it might be GG for them in the mid.
Well, you know, another hero that could work, instead of picking up a jungler or a mid laner, hey, you're up against an assassin, up against ONIC. They're probably still having nightmares about going up against a Hilda on an assassin. It's still up for grabs right now. They don't go for it. They instead lock in a jungler that we haven't seen so far in the group stage. But still, Karina, one of those junglers that's just super solid. Good clear, good damage, and very flexible in terms of how you can play this hero. You can go tank, you can still go damage.
But then it's also not exactly a counter towards that Hayabusa as well. So I think the Roamer here will be the very important hero that will decide how the early game can go. Already a Hilda being banned away by Malvinas of all people. And Mincitar, just to ensure that no dash denials are available. On top of that hook, it can be such a reliable engage tool for the side of Malvinas, who do want to push the tempo early on in the fight.
This is kind of interesting because Malvinas Gaming, they themselves ban out the Hilda, where they could have used it to their own advantage to really harass the Hayabusa. And now Mincitar banned. I guess it's good because they do have a lot of dashes, but this is a pretty unorthodox ban, I gotta say, because usually people just go for the very, very safe pick. So it looks like ONIC probably has done their homework on Malvinas Gaming, knowing that this is a potential dangerous pick.
Well, the other ban comes in, and it is actually going to be that Xavier. This hero has been, I wouldn't say super prio, right? A lot of teams have been picking it up, but it's been very situational. We've seen where players can actually utilize the Xavier, especially when it goes to the late game. We saw Lemon yesterday pop off on this hero, but with it banned away, and looking at the compositions from ONIC Esports, with 3 out in the fray, you can really understand why they went for the Xavier ban, right? This is Sans. You're not going to see those crazy dive-in heroes. You're going to see a lot of that safer picks as a mage, but we still don't know because Drian's playing right now. The Grok, we've seen him pull that off in the mid lane.
seen him use heroes like a Kagura as well, so he's definitely not averse to playing the more aggressive heroes that can just 1v1 and then take over that mid lane control. Along with the Grok, as you mentioned, Mirko, they can definitely contest on the prio and allow that high roam playstyle that ONIC can use to shut down all these strong laners from the side of Malvinas Gaming.
Looking at the draft right now, I mean, here's the thing. We got to look at numbers because numbers don't lie. Joe hasn't been doing well, so Malvinas Gaming picking out a Joe, I'm kind of iffy because, again, it is one of those very high mechanical heroes. If you can execute it, then you got a lot of TikTok moments. It looks great, but if you don't, then your team is really going to suffer. And something interesting about Lolita, man, every single World Series, like, it's never like super top tier, but Worlds comes in and suddenly Lolita is the most reliable roamer you can use. Like, a lot of damage, good setup, very easy to set up. So something about Lolita, man, but it looks like ONIC, they're gonna finish off their draft with the Valentina as well as the Franco. So EXP Grok?
EXP Grok for Boots, which is an interesting way to actually go at it, to use this draft. All right, I'm looking at it right now. It's pretty cool, bro, right? It's a good composition. They have solid pick. They have pretty good team fight with the AoE, but my main concern now is how is this Wan going to go up against the carry, who's been really good, and a Luo Yi. That's actually pretty solid. I really like the Luo Yi pick here up against a lot of melee that ONIC have drafted for themselves. That's a lot of damage, my guy.
I'm sorry, but I gotta say, if they play it well, they can win mid and they can definitely put pressure in the jungle because Cho is strong level 1, Louis is strong level 2. Just get Louis to level 2 and then force fights because even though Valentina is very strong and with her passive, she gets to the level very fast, but a lot of crowd control makes it so that even if you can do damage, even if you can dash around, if you're not moving, it really doesn't matter.
And look at the composition as well. The wave clear coming in from both these teams. You can see that they want to contest that early pressure. And I think level 2 and level 3 is going to be absolutely bloody in this particular match. Both teams have the heroes available to try and go for those big pickoffs or those big skirmishes with the whole team involved.
Let's see if that happens early on here in match number 1. As both ONIC Esports and Malvinas Gaming, they've drafted a very aggressive draft. Let's head on over to the Land of Dawn for match number 1.
In match number 1, man, I'm looking at the mid lane. How are they really going to play this out? Especially because we saw Franco yesterday, especially with the Legend skin, but he's not using the Legend skin. This is a nerf. He should have used the Legend skin, man, because somehow the hook rate with that is like, what, like 80%? It's insane when you use the Legend skin on this Franco.
It's definitely a buff if you use that particular skin. We saw Mara pop off on that Franco pick, but here in the early game, against a Cho and a Luo Yi, it's going to be very difficult because there's not a lot of burst damage available for the side of ONIC Esports. In a prolonged fight, maybe something can be done here, but right now, Keyboy is just zoning Steve away, ensuring that the jungle denial does not happen yet again.
Yeah, jungle denial is very important, but right now, looking at MVG as well as ONIC, it's look like they're not really forcing anything just yet. So maybe because even they see this as a very high-risk kind of play, they're playing it a little bit slow. But again, I kind of want to see MVG really picking it up. Once Prince Fran hit level 4 or once it gets to 2 minutes, I want to see them make a play. If not, they're just giving Kyrie way too much space, man.
And right now in the gold lane, CW is doing pretty well for himself. He's zoning away Crew, and without any assistance, it's going to be very difficult for this carry to try and get anything. So already ONIC displaying a higher level of macro, but look at the mid lane though. Kyrie is playing with fire.
It's his signature hero, man. It's his favorite hero to play, and we get to finally see it here at the world stage. But I do want to actually talk a little bit more about that gold lane matchup, because hey, that's my main hero too. Me and CW, we're brothers. CW, Wan. Up against the carry, you do have a winning lane. It comes down to a bit of a skill matchup, right? It's definitely advantageous for the Wan, but as long as you dodge from the spinning light wheel from the carry, you're all good to go. You could just all in, and there's nothing Crew can really do if he's solo. And CW has actually manipulated the wave so well to get a level advantage here early on to put on even more pressure towards the gold lane while his team sets up for the turtle.
Right now, looking at the situation, MALVINAS Gaming is they're really trying to get this turtle. And Harley, I want to see if he can actually get a very big pull with his skill 1 and skill 2 combo. But looking at the map, it looks like ONIC they're actually splitting their own attention, because at the bottom lane, Keyboy is waiting for Carry to make a mistake. So it looks like ONIC they're being slightly passive. They just want to establish vision and then try to see if they can use that vision to set up some kind of kill for themselves. They're not really looking at the turtle, they're just looking at kills.
They seem to be trying to make sure that Joku needs to walk up and then want to engage on him using Keyboy on that Franco. But Joku has been very patient, just leaving farm out. And now Steve seems to be the main target for the side of ONIC.
Steve gonna be caught there by the bloody hunt, and that's first blood over to ONIC Esports. And it's one of the worst targets for ONIC Esports to get a kill on, right? It's CW on that 1-1, a signature pick, and you could already see the rotations here from ONIC. They're going pretty aggressive.
Yeah, like I said, right now it looks like they're not really thinking of objectives. They're just trying to rack up some kills, and I kind of feel like they're playing for the mid game. The early stages of the game, they kind of don't care so much, so I'm looking at the second or third turtle for ONIC to really show their true colors, because for now, looks like CW got caught!
What a brilliant use of that ultimate from the Luo Yi, getting to the back, not giving vision at all, and Stiff is here over in the gold lane, using the way to Dragon to lock Keyboy up, and it's another kill over to Prince Fran. 2 kills on the board as Rian rotates back down to save his turret, but man, MVG, they're utilizing the Luo Yi so well.
It's a clean performance. That is such a creative use. And on the other side, you even see Dragon rotate to the mid lane to ensure that the lanes are all still being controlled. So MALVINAS showing a lot of macro gameplay here, matching ONIC in that department. That is definitely a very impressive feat.
Hey, that's what I want to see, but I want to see more of it, because if you understand where ONIC is around the map, you have a lot of ways to control ONIC with the Cho, with the Lu Yi, and then if everyone's controlled, because looking at Prince Friend, he's not going for a tanky build. He's using the mage emblem, so this is a damaged Karina. So as long as no one really hits her, she could potentially get the first Savage of M4.
First Savage of N4. It's a tall order, but MALVINAS might be able to make it happen. We'll have to see how the fights play out, because so far it's been skirmishes. In the big, massive team fights, I do think that MALVINAS has, in a way, better of a composition, more crowd control, more AoE. ONIC seems to be a lot more geared towards the skirmishes.
And you know, to add on to that, we said it, ONIC Esports in the draft have been struggling a bit. We saw it against Todak, and now we're seeing it again against MALVINAS. Kairi gonna be able to steal the purple buff away, and in the gold lane we're seeing a gank already with Joku flickering out, but still getting hit by the bloody hunt as Rian brings him back with a knockout strike right there, and Steve is gonna be able to actually go up, zone the other members away while CW takes the turret. Prince Fran gonna be there, Keyboy gets a massive hook, but there's no follow-up from ONIC Esports. Both teams back away, and ONIC finally get that gold lead back into their hands.
Honestly, looking at this game right now, I do want to ask Arashi, where I'm looking at both gold laners, the 1-1 as well as the carry. If we really go towards, like, I don't know, like a 17-minute game, which one is like more prevalent in the late game in this current meta? Is it still the 1-1 or is it the carry?
I think carry will be doing a lot more damage, considering that in team fights, the damage isn't really reliant on combos and on skills, right? As long as Joku is auto-attacking, basic attacking again and again, that damage will eventually stack up. And in the late game with full items, that is a lot of damage for both any squishy member or the tanky member. But if ONIC Esports want to actually get CW popping off on that 1-1, they need like a proper setup, a proper engage. And now it does seem like they are attempting to make something happen.
Keyboy is looking for it right now, man. They can see it. They go for the hook. Steve is going to be caught by the bloody hunt as well. And that's the pick-off composition that ONIC Esports have built for themselves, right? We mentioned it. In the team fights, they might not be able to actually face off against MALVINAS Gaming.
Keyboy.
But when it comes down to the team fights here, or the pick-off potential, Keyboy finds a hook onto Prince Fran. Kairi jumps in, gets a shadow kill in with the killing spree. And it is just Kairi going back and forth. 2 kills on the board by Keyboy. That's the setup.
Dude, that was amazing. Like, okay, fine. Legend skin, no legend skin. It looks like the hooks are being very cooperative for today, and that is very smart because he flanked to the side because, okay, I got to make sure they don't see this coming, and that was an amazing play. 1.6k goal lead. ONIC is ahead, but again, they're ahead because they're able to kind of like split the fight off and that's great. If they go for a team fight, it might not be so good. So as long as they keep their focus, this could be their game.
Well, Harley's going to be caught there as Drian is able to flank all the way. CW is looking for one more. Way too aggressive. Gets picked off in the process as Kyrie has been going onto the turtle, just poking it down, picking it up for his team. Keyboy now caught. Going to be brought back by his team, but has the flicker. Dragon very, very close from that iron hook. Is going to be able to back off though.
That was a very creative engage, using the stolen teleport coming in from Drian, just getting all the way behind Malvinas Gaming and then using their own weapons against themselves. Unfortunately, as we saw earlier, CW was just a bit overeager to make that kind of play happen, but Keyboy is already yet again on the hunt. He has his sights set on Joe-Crew.
Joe-Crew going to be targeted down here as Kyrie jumps in, uses the shadow kill over to Joe-Crew, but the RNG does not favor him. It's still going to be Joe-Crew, Coleman down. Keyboy running away as CW pops the crossbow tang onto Harley. Not going to be able to find that, and it's actually CW who gets taken down. Dragon still hunting, but that's the way the Dragon's stolen away by Drian, kicking Dragon back, and to actually disengage from this. Kyrie still doing all that he can with those quad shadows, but it is just going to be a stalemate. Both teams backing off, no more kills on the board.
Yeah, looking at that situation, I gotta say, man, because CW, it looks like he can reliably trigger the ult, but he's got to be careful of his positioning, because more often than not, when everyone else is backing away, CW is going in front, and that is flashy. You know, like you want to get those crazy kills, but it looks like the damage is not there just yet. He got to be a little bit mindful about when he goes in and where he positions himself.
Well, let's take a look at the instant replay for the previous fight. It all began with that play onto Joe-Crew, and unfortunately for ONIC, it just took a bit too long for that kill to be secured.
Yeah.
But they were still able to secure the kill, and CW goes for this play, but he lands way too close in the midst of 3 members of Malvinas. And as you mentioned, Lofel, I think that with this composition, CW can play a bit more reactive and use the crossbow of Tang as an outplay tool instead of an offensive tool, and maybe he'll have a lot more success in surviving these big team fights.
Well, once again, we're going to have to see how this plays out.
no way.
CW is going to be able to catch them, but it's going to be CW who's the one who gets slain. Keyboy in the midst of it all going to be taken down as well. Prince Fran, oh my god! Almost just fading it right amount of time for Drian to pick up a kill, but Drian now is able to actually maneuver out. Kyrie jumps in with a double kill, goes in for the shadow kill to pick up a triple, and Kyrie gets it done for ONIC Esports.
I gotta say, man, like that looked cool, but I gotta say, mistake from Dragon. He used the split play. He should have stayed close to his team, because Kyrie was aiming for just one person. If Dragon was there actually was a situation where Malvinas Gaming could have gotten more kills. But either way, great engagement from Malvinas Gaming. But now Kyrie is using this opportunity to try and start the Lord, but it looks like Dragon is not gonna let him do that.
Dragon on the glue, man. We're gonna have to see how much time he buys for his team as he goes in for that split, but all the way this points. Oh my god, again! It's Prince Fran who comes in clutch and saves the day. ONIC Esports have nowhere to go right now, but Dragon's gonna be taken down. It's a shadow kill over to Harley, as now Malvinas have to move back. The iron hook does not connect. It's gonna be the way the Dragon locking Prince Fran down, and that's a double kill picked up by Drian, the Lord as well. Drian is an absolute monster as he's looking to claim a maniac, but Keyboy, his own teammate, says, no, I want some time too.
And just like that, that's a wipe out for ONIC. What? That was so insane, man. Malvinas were able to actually get the initial advantage. CW was picked off, but it doesn't even matter. With all the resources already used in that team fight, ONIC were able to just and just wipe the whole floor with Malvinas Gaming. Kyrie, on cleanup duty, has been so intelligent with when he goes into these fights.
Yeah, this does show a little bit of experience, because ONIC, the moment they saw the engagement coming in from Malvinas, they just backed off, and Malvinas kind of didn't get the message because their HP was below half, way below half, and they still tried to fight it out, and I kind of feel like that was the biggest mistake. Looking at the player head-to-head now, CW as well as Joe-Crew, the average KDA for CW as well as gold per minute is looking much better, and the average damage per minute, even though he keeps getting ganked, he makes sure he deals the damage before he gets taken down.
He's actually been kind of like that tank, right? He's the one baiting out all the resources, and Drian has been the carry with Kyrie. As now, they are going to make their way for themselves towards that mid lane with the Lord, who's trying his best to just delay that Lord push with that top lane being pushed in. Dragon still buying some time, jumps in with the Blaze Plate, but got his key boy! My goodness gracious! With an iron hook out of nowhere onto Harley as Kyrie jumps into the back line with a shadow kill, and that's gonna be Stiff falling down as well. Prince Fran's gonna be taken down with a crossbow tang, and it's translated over to Dragon. ONIC ESPORTS with a 9.7k gold lead. They're gonna go for Dragon before they end the game. Now they're still going for it. The winner Truncheon was popped in, but it's a wipe out for ONIC ESPORTS as they seal their first win at M4.
Congratulations to ONIC Esports for winning the first match of the day. And looking at the game, like, this is the thing about Mobile Legends. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And it looks like MALVINAS Gaming, they kind of like let go of the gas a little bit too soon going up against ONIC.
And I think, in a way, right, in the mid game, it's almost like the opposite. We saw two fights of Fel where they were so low, and yet they pursued. They thought they had ONIC on the run, but ONIC, they just know exactly what the situation was. They turned it back around. It happened one too many times, and in the top class, top tier